Just you wait and hear Spare's ghostwriter J.R. Moringer's shocking revelations about Prince Harry being a bully. Whoo! Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and stay tuned for more details coming right now in this Daily Nerd. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the news and pop culture stories of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, before we jump into this video's main topic and get into all the juicy details, there's a little bit of housekeeping as always. Firstly, YouTube human reviewer, I see you lurking. I'm not going to say any trigger words or anything that's going to offend your ear holes. And to everyone else awesome enough to have clicked on this video, hey up, how y'all doing? If you like this kind of content, then afterwards do send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. Let's have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And, oh yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? So, yes, J.R. Mouringer has spoken up, broken his silence about collaborating on the memoir Spare, otherwise known as Wah, with our Prince Harry, otherwise known as our Hazard. Oh, yes. So this is from the New Yorker, and he writes, right at the beginning, I was exasperated with Prince Harry when I could get my teeth back in. My head was pounding, my jaw was clenched, and I was starting to raise my voice. And yet some part of me was still able to step outside the situation and think, this is so weird, I'm shouting at Prince Harry. He then goes on to say that Harry started going back at him. Cheeks flushed, eyes narrowed, more pressing thought occurred, whoa, it could all end right here. Now, he writes that this was all back in the summer of 2022. For 2 years, they'd been working on Spare. They were reviewing the latest edits in the middle of the night during a Zoom call, and they'd come to a very difficult, contentious passage. Now, this was about Harry at the end of grueling military exercises back in England, that he gets captured by pretend, let's call them bad guys. It's fake, it's pretend, okay, pretend situation, but the nastiness that was inflicted upon Harry were very real. You know, he's hooded, dragged to an underground bunker, physically not being treated very well. They make him very, very cold. He doesn't eat much. They make sure of that. Not wearing much clothing at all. Forced into very awkward positions of stress by captors wearing black balaclavas. The idea essentially is to find out if Harry has got what it takes to be able to survive on the battlefield if he's actually captured. So 2 of his fellow soldiers don't. They crack under pressure. Now, Harry's captors, they throw him against a wall. They do things to his throat that doesn't make it easier for him to breathe. There we go. And they scream insults into his face, culminating in a not very nice message towards or about Princess Diana. Now, when it's all over, one of the participants actually extends an apology to Prince Harry. I mean, why? They're just doing the job, right? Simple as. But this is the thing, right? According to J.R. Mouringer, Harry always wanted to end this scene with a thing he said to his captors, a comeback that, as far as the ghostwriter's concerned, was unnecessary and somewhat inane. He writes, good for Harry that he had the nerve, but ending with what he said would dilute the scene's meaning. That even at the most bizarre and peripheral moments of his life, his central tragedy intrudes. For months, I'd been crossing out the comeback, and for months, Harry had been pleading for it to go back in. So there's a lot of back and forth as to whether this comeback that Hazard mentioned against his fake captors was going to be included in the spare book or not, right? Now, at this point during this particular Zoom call, he wasn't pleading, he was insisting. At like 2 o'clock in the morning, and J.R. Moring was starting to lose it, saying, dude, we've been over this. Now, why was it so important, as far as the ghostwriter is concerned, to have this included in the book, this comeback, right? Why the J.R. Moringer says, couldn't he accept my advice? We were leaving out 1,000 other things. That's half the art of the memoir, leaving stuff out. Editing, right? You don't just put everything in the kitchen sink. It's all about editing things out. And as we know, with that Telegraph interview that Hazard did earlier on this year, he turned around and said they cut out 400 pages. In other words, he's got a spare Mark DOS ready to go, guys. Ugh. Now, at this point, J.R. Moringer's like begging Hazard, look, trust me. Trust the book. Please trust me. He writes, although this wasn't the first time that Harry and I had argued, it felt different. It felt as if we were hurtling towards some kind of decisive rupture, in part because Harry was no longer saying anything. He was just glaring into the camera, as in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, trying to be physically intimidating virtually, camera to camera, right? So I'm like this. Yeah? That anger, that aggression, that intimidation coming over. That, I believe, is what J.R. Moringer is explaining here. Part of, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Harry's bullying tactics to get his own way and to get this comeback that he says towards these fake captors into the book. So, finally, he exhaled and calmly explained that all his life people had belittled his intellectual capabilities, and this flash of cleverness proved that even after being, physically not being treated very well, not much sleep or food, he had his wits about him. Now, this is all after as well. They're having an absolute screaming match. From what we're reading here, it wasn't the pleasantest of conversations. So not only was Prince Harry trying to, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, bully his ghostwriter by, physical presence, intimidation kind of thing through the camera, but by literally shouting at the ghostwriter as well, instead of taking his advice. Okay. Now, ghostwriter J.R. Moringer says, okay, made sense now, but still refused to put it in. And Prince Hazard is like, why? This is really good. J.R. Moringer says, look, everything you said is about you. You want the world to know that you did a good job, that you were smart. But, strange as it is, the memoir isn't about you. It's not even a story of your life. It's a story carved from your life, a particular series of events chosen because they have the great resonance for the widest range of people. And at this point in the story, those people don't need to know anything more than that your captors said a really, really nasty thing about Princess Diana, your mother. Now, Harry at this point, non-responsive, looking down, J.R. Moringer not knowing how Hazard had taken it at that point. But after what seemed to be like an eternity, Hazard then looks up into the camera towards the ghostwriter and says, okay, saying that he got it. J.R. Moringer says, thank you, Harry. Absolutely relieved, as you can appreciate. And get this. Prince Harry, he writes, shot me a mischievous grin. I really enjoy getting you worked up like that. Yeah. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever on this one. Prince Harry, through, looking meanly into the camera towards J.R. Moringer, trying to intimidate the ghostwriter into doing what he wanted, screaming at him, right, to get what he wanted. To me, he was trying to bully his ghostwriter into doing what he wanted, which was to include this comeback in the book. And it's further, I suppose, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, proven when J.R. Mooringer writes that he responded saying, I really enjoy getting you worked up like that. Showing that Prince Harry had the intent to do that in the first place. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. This is absolutely a shocking revelation as to how Prince Harry treated his ghostwriter, J.R. Mooringer, which without this dude, he would have not broken records and not earned as much as he did with that spare book. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? Oh my goodness. But you know what? Enough with my gob. It's now time for your gobs. If you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, woo, there's gonna be more. Do make sure you click on that subscribe button. Help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, and whatever. Also, as well, do send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. Let's have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.